What it do? What it do? Welcome to the Genius Club. I am your boy Lean Jeans, and we gonna get right into it. You hear me? Uh, so hey, shout out to the Cartier family, folks. They, I'm tuned in to them. I fuck with them, right? And shout out to Anton Daniels too. I fuck with them. I fuck with him too. Really, really good podcast they got going on there, right? I fuck with them. So let me begin by saying this shit is crazy with the View. You know, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny, Liston, whatever the fuck her name is, right? All of the women on the View. This shit is crazy, right? They Charlemagne was on the View, right? And Charlemagne, right? He was like a Kamala Harris supporter, but he kind of let them know, like, okay, look, you can't be a motherfucking hypocrite. You can't say one thing and do this and do that. You know what I mean? And then not only on that, he looking at both sides. So I respect what Charlemagne had to say today, because sometimes he just a goofy and sometimes he need the donkey of the day. You know what I mean? And may I add that he got that shit from my father, just to keep it 100. My father was number one in the radio industry well before all of the you see all this shit. R.I.P. to my pops, you know what I'm saying? But my father used to do a segment like that, right? He was the first one that started that shit. Bobby OJ, go look him up. WDIA. He was the program director around that bitch. That's the first black radio station in America. So cool. I'll let y'all know that. But look, we back to the point. Charlemagne checked him though. You know what I mean? Cause Whoopi Goldberg, she flipping out, right? Let's take a look at what the fuck they was talking about on there, man. Cause I want y'all to see for yourself. Y'all make a decision for yourself. You know, the Democrats and the Republicans. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't even want to call myself an independent. I'm neither nor I don't care. Okay, like none of that shit. Nah, that shit don't. The world is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but I can agree a lot with the Republicans, to keep it 100 with you. Like they have a lot of talking points this year where it's like, damn, the Democrats is just stupid. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. Don't unsubscribe. Your boy try to grow, but hey, that's how I'm feeling. Fuck it, you did. So let's take a look at Whoopi and Charlemagne on the View. Hey, play that shit one time.
Around right now, a lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him, that's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
All right, so
I think that this is about to go left. Because this just flies in the face of everything that they talk about on The View. It 100% flies in the face. I don't think they realized what they was doing when they invited Charlemagne the God onto this platform. Charlemagne is not a Biden supporter. Charlemagne is a Kamala Harris stan. That's the difference. So if you bringing him on here in order to make a plea for Kamala Harris, you're going to get a totally different chameleon Charlemagne. And I think that he also is probably more Republican after getting beat up all of this election. You're going to get a completely different Charlemagne if you're talking about Kamala Harris than if you're talking about Joe Biden. Charlemagne don't like Joe. And I got to give him a little bit of credit being objective. He's always been a Joe hater. He's always been in denial about how great Trump is, but he's always been against Joe Biden. So when they ask him this question and he's able to remove his bias in order to hold Democrats accountable, and specifically Joe Biden, about, holding on to that lie, I don't think that this is going to go the way that they anticipated.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Of course she is.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a
No,
sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my
That's called a
feeling,
lie.
because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
Now, before we address Whoopi's delusion, how many of y'all that's watching this right now actually believes that Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, is on the straight and narrow? How many people believe that in Joe's 50-year career, not even say 50, let's go back to 2014, because maybe he's pardoning Hunter so that it doesn't come back to him in some way, shape, or form, over the last 10, 11 years. How many of us, honest to God, in our hearts, believe Joe Biden to be on the straight and narrow? The one that continues to push the narrative and hit the button when it comes to provoking Russia to become or use their nuclear powers. Stop, bro. Stop.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
you're
go out.
miss-
They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
Listen,
they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are
100%
saying. He don't have to do
we're
that.
mad at him because he changed his.
Oh no! By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning
But
Hunter
you sound
Biden.
like you're
No.
Okay.
If I can get in
They
on
need
this,
to do
I
their
actually think
research.
it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions
Yes, I
and the
understand all that.
impartiality
Why
of
she
the
cutting her
Department
off?
of Justice.
Yes.
Democrats ran on that. The same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. We shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does. But then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Can you explain to me why it is that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls? He's wrong.
I criticize
No, no.
Donald Trump more than me or Charlemagne God.
I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more, but you're missing my question.
Okay.
My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes... But when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
That's why I'm an independent.
Yes, but that's
And I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats
So
are
you
wrong.
don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I
don't.
So she doesn't think that Joe Biden is wrong for presenting himself as this holier than thou. We will abide by the law. The justice system has to work. It doesn't matter who it is. They have to be, they have to be held accountable for what it is that they do. But then at the same time, say that he wasn't going to do something multiple different times, throw Karine Jean-Pierre under the bus and everybody else that said that they believed in him. But then all of a sudden, he just changed his mind overnight at Camp David. Stop. That is, if this is not some of the most delusional people that I've ever seen in my entire life. Liberals are delusional, and what it is that they represent and what they run on is delusion. It's 100% delusion.
Can
Well,
I just
that's
point this out to you?
ridiculous.
The president has a pardon power,
you're
right?
ridiculous.
I didn't say you were ridiculous, Ms. Goldberg. I would never say.
Oh, Auntie mad. Auntie mad? Auntie is mad. She hurt. This is what happens when you go to Thanksgiving dinner or you go to visit your grandmother and they trying to get on you about why you voted the way that you voted, and then you give them some truth serum, and then they get hurt as a result of it because they can't bully you no more and they're staying on a Democratic plantation.
I said that. I just think that's
Think about
Come over and give me a
think about
kiss.
it this way.
Nah, I'm straight. I don't.
You see they talking about the pardon that Trump no, not the pardon that Trump did, the pardon that Crazy Joe. I mean, the Biden crime family did, you know what I mean? So he pardoned his son. So that's what they talking about on there, right? And, you know, how I feel about that is that's bullshit. Because if I get caught with some shit, then I got to do my time. So you above the law. So it's bullshit. But we know that already. We know motherfuckers above the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, I'm not sleep to this shit. Like, I know a motherfucker above the law. I know a motherfucker, fuck you think my whole life been. So, of course, I know that it's still bullshit, though. So, okay, you know, so he pardoned him. Let's talk about what let's get into what the Cartier family said, you know what I mean, and what they played, because I think this was before Trump won the election, if I'm not mistaken. They put it up recently though, but I think it's before he got elected. But this nigga Trump hella funny. Called him the Biden crime family. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at it. Play that shit one time. Let's go.
Money that they giving away.
Yeah.
So y'all just throwing money in the sky, and we paying for that.
And it's interesting, people are
So we just
attacking.
dribble.
It is now 100% proven that the Biden crime family received more than $20 million from foreign countries while Crooked Joe was vice president.
Damn.
And probably a lot more than that. That's just the money they found. Not one of Joe Biden's defenders has even attempted to explain what Joe and his family did, including his children and his grandchildren. What were they doing getting all of this money? I believe we have a compromised president. He was bribed and now he's being blackmailed. He's a Manchurian candidate. That's why Crooked Joe is letting other countries walk all over the United States. He's afraid to bring it up. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's petrified of China because they know exactly how much money has been given to him, and they know exactly where it is. China has paid him a fortune. Just think of what China has gotten for all that money. Biden shut down my administration's initiative targeting Chinese spies in the United States. He shut it down cold. He let China off the hook for COVID. He shut down the investigation into the origins of the China virus. He did nothing as China began setting up bases in Cuba, taking over South America, and threatening Taiwan. They even took over the Panama Canal. We spent a fortune building it. Jimmy Carter's administration sold it for $1. We lost 36,000 people building the Panama Canal. The mosquitoes got them, malaria. The mosquitoes got them. And now China controls it. Russia and China are even doing military exercises near the Aleutian Islands, right off the coast of Alaska. And Biden sits back on his hands. He does nothing. This never would have happened if I was president. If they even thought about it, I would have shut it down instantly. There's no way they would have done any of this kind of thing, including Russia invading Ukraine would have never happened. Man. And China wouldn't even be thinking about Taiwan right now. Crooked Joe's corruption is a glaring threat to national security. Between the millions and millions of dollars he's gotten from China and the millions of dollars from Ukraine, Joe Biden's greed and criminality is going to get us into World War III. We're going to be in World War III with this guy. Grossly incompetent man. Now the corrupt Biden DOJ is continuing the cover-up with the appointment of a special counsel to block further investigation. It's the very same U.S. attorney who cut Hunter Biden the scandalous plea deal that was such a scam it didn't survive the barest scrutiny in court. It was done under what's called blue slip. It wasn't picked, and that position by President Trump. It was picked by the Democrat senators in the state. It's called a blue slip. You'll check it out. But they picked him. I didn't pick him. This is corruption like our country has never seen before. That is why as soon as I am reelected, I will appoint a real special counsel, or maybe you'll call it a special prosecutor, whatever you want to call it, you can, to look at all of these bribes, kickbacks, and other crimes, as well as the shameless attempt at a cover-up. Justice will be done. The Biden crime family will be looked at. We have to get there first. We have to win the election. They're trying to step in my way at every path because the one person they don't want to run is Donald Trump. But when we get there, the Biden crime family will pay a price like other people are being forced to pay. And that price will be very, very substantial. It'll be fair. But you know what? If they're guilty, they're going to be guilty. What they are doing to justice in this country has never even been thought of before. Thank you very much.
Wow.
See, this is why I F with Trump, bruh. He be exposing shit, bruh.
And he like Dion, bro. He said, we coming.
Yeah,
we
boy
coming.
said the Biden crime.
All right, so y'all, let me know what the fuck y'all think about that shit, man. Leave it in the comments, man. You know, Trump a fool. Hilarious as hell. But he had a lot to say about that shit. They stealing money. They doing all type of shit, folks. Let me know. Yeah, man. I done had enough of this shit. You dig, man? Hey, like that like button, comment, subscribe, give your boy some motherfucking engagement. You dig? Because this nigga trying to grow. You dig? You know? I'm out.